everybody, this is Pastor Megan, this is Travel Faithfully, and I'm in Barbados. Here in Barbados, there is a long history of slavery, and not just the slavery that you might think of importing people from Africa on slave ships and making them work on sugar plantations, but also with native groups, the Caribs, from which the Caribbean gets its name, who enslaved other more peaceful agrarian tribes that lived on the island in between the time of conquest, and even indentured servants who were, through the judicial system, forced to work in this area as a way to pay off their labor through manual labor. Indentured servants who were referred to as rednecks because, of course, they didn't have suntan lotion and they had a permanent red mark on the back of their neck or on the back of their legs, red legs. This complicated past of slavery is one that we have to talk about, particularly as Christians, because there's complicated texts in our scriptures which talk about us being slaves to God rather than slaves to other masters. And some people think that this language is helpful language because it liberates people, it gives them only one master. But for some people, this is a metaphor, and for other people who follow this understanding about what it means to be a slave to God, it means giving up everything and probably being murdered. There is a statue to emancipation in Barbados. It looks like this. But the person who had run away in this moment, who is portrayed in this statue, was killed. There are often islands around the Caribbean where if you tried to run away from slavery, they would put you for a week without water, which was certain death unless it rained. And so metaphors about slavery are metaphors we should not take on lightly, particularly if it's something that's not in our ancestral DNA. It's not a part of our heritage, unless I try to be someone who claims that I didn't do it, or my people came from Switzerland and they didn't take on slaves in the same way in this country or in the United States of America. On the cruise that I just took, I found a PDF yesterday while we were at sail saying that the cruise line had done the best they could not to use slaves, child laborers, or people who were being trafficked. But they couldn't be certain, and they hoped their employees would turn people in if they discovered anything. None of us have thoroughly researched enough where our shoes are made, where our clothing is made, where our food comes from, to be able to say that we are not tainted by the stench of slavery. And unless we are completely off the grid, growing things ourselves, there are people who are being taken advantage of so that we can have a better life. We want to proclaim that justice will flow like ever-flowing streams, will come swiftly, will sort out this mess, but it seems that the human history is tangled with difficult things that we haven't been able to figure out. I don't pretend to have all the answers just because I went on a Caribbean cruise, but know that I am one person who is willing to name the difficult things that come along with the privileges that we carry. And with you, I hope to be someone who can work towards that solution, to work towards the justice of God until all people are able to live in full equality. I love you all. Thank you for doing your best. Thank you for the faith that you have in me. And until next time, take care.